This one can make or break your patience. An incorrectly wound bobbin is the most common problem I see beginners struggle with. And when things don't turn out right, many think about the other sewing components first, like the top thread, the needle, or even the tension dial, but completely forget about the bobbin. So today, let's see how to properly wind a bobbin with the correct tension. But first, why does it even matter? A bobbin that is not wound with the correct tension can give you all sorts of issues, starting with creating nests of stitches underneath your project, skipped stitches because the top thread can't properly loop around the bobbin thread, or sometimes your sewing machine can even start making noises that aren't very reassuring. To start, at the top of my sewing machine, I have a diagram that is indicating to me which way I should thread my top spool in order to get the correct tension for my bobbin. This is normally indicated by a dashed line, and that is telling me the exact points that I need to pass my thread through. On my sewing machine, I have the diagram on the far right, but your machine may have it anywhere towards the left-hand side. This step is super important because this is what's going to give your bobbin the correct tension. If you do not thread the top thread correctly, the rest won't really matter because you are going to be starting off with no tension. So the diagram on my sewing machine tells me that I need to take the top thread and pass it through the bobbin winding tension disc first. And I like to give it a little tug just to make sure that it has been slotted in correctly. Now grab an empty bobbin and the loose end of your thread, and you will notice that on either side of the bobbin there are holes. This is a plastic bobbin, but you can also have a metal bobbin, and those two will have holes on either side. Now from the inside of your bobbin out, take the thread and pass it through one of the holes. If you're having a bit of difficulty, like I sometimes do, I like to grab a tweezer to help me along. Now pull a little bit more of the thread out of the top, and now you can put the bobbin into its winder and push it down completely. All you need to do now is push this over to the right so that your sewing machine knows that it needs to wind the bobbin. Now hold your thread up and put your foot down on the pedal and wind this just for a few rounds. Now you can cut the excess of the thread close to the bobbin. And if you have a speed dial on your sewing machine, you can turn it now to its highest speed and wind the rest of the bobbin. This little thing sticking out the top of the machine is going to tell you when your bobbin is fully wound. When it reaches that point, either your sewing machine will automatically stop, or you will be able to see that your bobbin is no longer winding. Now to release the bobbin, slide this back over to the left and just pull it off the top. And you can double check now to see if you have a nicely tight wound bobbin and that there's no wobbly or fluffy bits that would indicate that it doesn't have the correct tension. While we're at it, let's have a look how we can properly install the bobbin. To do that, we're going to have to remove this plastic casing, and all you need to do is slide this release button over to the right and your casing will just pop out. Most sewing machines will also have another diagram here telling you how to position the bobbin in order to correctly install it. So if you have a look here, it is telling you that the thread needs to come off this way around and go back on itself. So if I look at my bobbin, I'm going to need to have the thread coming out this way and back around. So this is the position that I'm going to need to put my bobbin in. Maintaining the same position, drop your bobbin into its holder, and with one finger hold the bobbin so it doesn't rotate, and with the other take the loose thread, slide it underneath the notch here in the front of the holder and as well under this guide, and you can slide it towards the back. Now some machines have a thread cutter here like mine does, so I will continue and pass it through the numbers 1 and then 2 and cut off my thread. But some machines don't have this function, so all you need to do is leave the thread loose, rotate your hand wheel towards you so that your top thread catches your bobbin thread, pull it out and push it towards the back of the machine. Now the last step is just to put the plastic cover back, so we will insert the left hand side first and just clip it into place. If this helped you today, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you've ever struggled with winding a bobbin. That's it from me today. Bye for now.